The most uncomfortable truth in modern dating is that most men are treated as a commodity, not a priority, because they operate on a predictable script of pursuit that every woman has seen 1,000 times before. When you meet someone you're attracted to, your biological and social conditioning kicks in, telling you that you need to prove your worth, show your interest, and essentially earn her presence through consistent effort and attention. This creates a psychological imbalance where her value is assumed and yours is conditional. She expects the chase because the attention economy has conditioned her to believe that a man's interest is the baseline, not the reward. When you break that script, when she expects you to double down after a cold text or a cancelled plan, and instead you simply vanish into your own life, you trigger a massive psychological shift known as cognitive dissonance. She has a mental map of how men behave when they want her, and when you refuse to follow that map, her brain is forced to reevaluate your value entirely. You aren't just not chasing, you are signaling that your time, energy, and emotional state are governed by an internal compass, not by her availability or validation. The psychology behind this is rooted in the scarcity principle and the Zeigarnik effect. Human beings naturally assign higher value to resources that are difficult to obtain or are seemingly indifferent to being acquired. When you chase, you are signaling an infinite supply of your attention, which immediately devalues it. By choosing not to chase, you create an open loop in her mind. She expected a specific reaction, where are you? Text, and is everything okay? Call, or a desperate attempt to reschedule. And when she gets nothing, the brain seeks closure. This lack of closure breeds obsession. She begins to wonder why her power didn't work on you. Are you seeing someone else? Are you so focused on your goals that she's an afterthought? This shift moves you from the position of a fan to the position of a prize. It's not about playing games, it's about the reality that attraction cannot exist without a degree of tension and uncertainty. If there is no risk of losing you, there is no reason for her to value keeping you. Consider the real-life example of the slow fade. Most men, when they feel a woman pulling away, react by leaning in harder. They think that by being nicer or more available, they can fix the leak. In reality, this only accelerates her loss of respect. The man who wins is the one who notices the energy shift and immediately matches it, or goes one step further by redirecting that energy into his own craft. If she takes 6 hours to reply with a one-word answer, and you respond 3 minutes later with a paragraph, you have lost the frame. You have shown that your world stops for a person who barely acknowledges yours. The mindset correction required here is moving from a scarcity mindset to an abundance of self. This doesn't mean you have 10 other women on speed dial. It means you have a life so filled with purpose, fitness, financial goals, and personal discipline that a single woman's lack of interest is statistically insignificant to your overall happiness. You are the protagonist of your own story, not a supporting character in hers. Common misconceptions suggest that not chasing means being mean, cold, or playing hard to get. This is a shallow interpretation. True high-value behavior is hard to earn, not hard to get. Being mean is a sign of emotional instability. Being indifferent is a sign of strength. If a woman treats you with disrespect or inconsistency, walking away isn't a tactic, it's a boundary. Many men fear that if they don't chase, they will lose her forever. The deeper reality is that if you have to chase her to keep her, you've already lost her respect. And a relationship without respect is just a countdown to a messy breakup. By stepping back, you allow the law of rotation to take effect. You give her the space to actually miss you, to wonder about you, and to realize that your presence in her life was a privilege, not a given. You are teaching people how to treat you by what you are willing to walk away from. To implement this, you must master the art of non-reactive stoicism. When she flakes, you don't get angry. You don't send a long message explaining why she's wrong. You simply say, all right, let me know when your schedule clears up. And then you actually go do something productive. You don't check her Instagram stories. You don't ask mutual friends about her. You bury yourself in your work, the gym, or your brotherhood. This actionable step works because it is genuine. Women have a sixth sense for fake indifference. If you are sitting by your phone waiting for it to ring while pretending not to care, she will feel that needy energy through the screen. But if you are actually out building a business or hitting a new PR in the gym, That energy of, I don't need this, becomes a magnetic force. The goal is to reach a state where your self-worth is so insulated that no external rejection can even scratch the surface of your ego. The deeper reality of life is that attraction is often a reflection of power dynamics. In a world where the average man is desperate for any scrap of female validation, a man who is comfortable in his own silence is a predator in a field of prey. Society has lied to you, telling you that the big romantic gesture is what wins the girl. That works in movies because movies need drama. In real life, the big romantic gesture often looks like a lack of self-respect. What actually builds long-term attraction in a healthy relationship is intermittent reinforcement. You provide warmth and attention when it is earned, and you withdraw it when it is not. This creates a psychological environment where she is incentivized to bring her best self to the table. If you provide golden retriever energy regardless of how she treats you, she has no reason to value your attention because it costs her nothing. Reflect on this. Why are you so afraid of her silence? For many men, the chase is a way to avoid the terrifying reality of being alone with their own thoughts and their own lack of progress. They use the pursuit of women as a distraction from the fact that they haven't built a life they are proud of. When you stop chasing her, you are forced to look in the mirror. You are forced to realize that the void she left was actually always there. You were just trying to fill it with her validation. The moment you decide that you are enough without her, the dynamic flips. Suddenly, you aren't a guy trying to get something from her. You are a man who is offering a seat at a very exclusive table. And if she doesn't want that seat, someone else will, or you'll just enjoy the extra space. That is the ultimate power move. It isn't a game. It is the natural consequence of a man who has found his mission. Ultimately, she thought you would chase because that's what low-value men do to compensate for their lack of substance. By doing the opposite, you have effectively told her that you are not in the same category as the simps in her DMs. You have signaled that you have options, even if those options are just your own hobbies and peace of mind. This creates a fear of missing out, FOMO, in her. She begins to realize that while she was testing you or playing with your time, you were actually evaluating her to see if she was worthy of your future. The hunter becomes the hunted. This clarity is the foundation of all masculine power, the ability to observe, to wait, and to remain unmoved by the emotional turbulence of others. You are the mountain, she is the weather. The weather can be beautiful or stormy, but the mountain remains unbothered and grounded. When you embody this, you don't just get the girl. You become the kind of man that the right women are terrified of losing. Stop the chase, start the build, and let the world adjust to your new frequency.